What can you guys clean up after game 4?
Well, I think they've done a couple different things and some pick and roll actions. Our ability to defend without fouling is key. That early part of that third quarter, I think we did a great job early on. But I think just being able to defend without fouling, we've got to make sure we continue to clean up the glass, defensive rebounding to get the ball out and pushed, and more than anything, taking care of the basketball. Starting the game off with 11 turnovers in that first quarter is not something that we want to continue.
When you look back at those, 2 road games in Cleveland, how important are those starts and not giving them extra possessions, especially getting their home crowd into it?
And that's what it was. It was their ability to get out on the break, whether that was turnovers or just us missing some shots. They were able to get early, easy baskets, watch the ball go in the hole, so that got their crowd into it. That got them into it. And they've been looking to get off to faster starts. So our ability to lock in from the beginning of the game without our home crowd being able to generate that energy, we've got to be focused on.
We heard Jay Jonathan talk after Game 4 that he feels like momentum is on your side. What do you feel momentum is in a playoff series? Does something like that exist, or is it just about you got to play the next game?
You have to play the next game. That's a very big portion of it. I mean, I know they felt the same way coming here. That momentum was on their side, and the same thing goes. You have to just do the things that are within the game that you can control, and a lot of that is the little things. It's the offensive rebound. It's taking care of the basketball. It's finishing out possessions. The value of possessions are so important in these games, and that's what we've continued to talk to our guys about.
I know this is still kind of a young team going through this kind of a series for the first time. Is that a lesson that Cleveland felt like they had all the momentum coming here? Now you guys feel like maybe you have all the momentum going there. How quickly a series can flip?
Well, it's just learning from the experiences, and with any of these series that you watch the playoffs, it flips at any given time. I think they write a story one night after a win, and then they write another story after a loss. And so our ability to stay the same and make the proper adjustments with what's happening real time in the game. Where can we get better? Where have we hurt them, and where have they hurt us? And those are improvements that need to be made. You don't want to get too high in wins, and you don't want to get too low in losses.
Paolo mentioned after Game 3 go for it.
So the success you guys had at home, did that release any tension for your group at all? And if so, is that important?
Well, you want our guys to be able to know what they're capable of doing. And I think that was a little bit of the sign of what they know they can do, how they can play, and what it takes to give yourself an opportunity to win a game. And so them feeling that and realizing that is a small sign. But again, it's different when you go on the road, but you still have to do those small things that allows you the opportunity to be in a game.
Paolo mentioned after Game 3 that the hardest thing about the playoffs is playing on the road. And there's been so much about protecting home court in this series. How do you kind of eliminate that psychology of, we played so well at home, we got to win more on the road though?
Well, you do have to win on the road, and the thing about this group is that we've proven that we can win on the road. And so knowing that you have to take care of the small details is so important. That's why we keep hitting home on the value of the possessions, getting off to a great start, being able to generate that within our team versus trying to generate it through the crowd, and then focusing on what we're doing and focusing on our details more than anything.
I know you're focused on this series, but you finished second in NBA Coach of the Year voting last night. What does it mean that the rest of the league recognizes what you're doing in this organization and this franchise?
I mean, it's an honor. It's very humbling to know that you're in that category with, elite and great coaches. But more than anything, it says so much about this group of young men. It says so many things about this coaching staff and what they're able to do and who they're allowed to be within who we are. This organization that does more for these guys, and I just think that's what it says so many things about. That recognition is more a staff and organizational recognition than anything to me.
Jamal, you've talked a lot about this team being at its best when they play by committee, win together. I guess as you go on the road and hope to steal a win in Cleveland, how does their togetherness, that chemistry, make them dangerous and set them apart?
It's what we've done all year, and I think it's a big portion of what makes this team special. And I've said it before to the group, to you all, that this group is special not necessarily because of what it does on the floor. It's how they interact and how they really do care about each other off the floor. They care about each other's success. They care about each other doing the right thing and playing the right way. And off-site visits that you saw, going to Cole's bowling event, things like that, giving back in the community. I think those things are the things that makes this group more special, not just on the court.
You're in a position now where you need to steal at least one of these road
that give a level of pressure that you like and you feed off of, or do you feel like that is not the case?
Well, I think when you make the group aware of it, right, that, if you get one on the road, you've now made it a real series. And so our guys understand that, but it doesn't take away from having to detail our work, having to do the little things within the game in order to get it done. And it's not going to be easy. The game plan may be simple, but the task about going to do it is not an easy task. You have to go and take the game more than you have to just expect them to not show up, because we're going to get their best punch.
How's your team's health?
No, we're healthy.
Mo was talking after the last game that he's worked his entire career to kind of figure out the right way in his mind to use his energy and maybe hyping up the crowd and whatnot and being an irritant. But how do you want him to be when he's on the court?
I want Mo to continue to be who he is. That's what we've said about this group, and this is what makes this group special. But it's also what makes each individual who they are. You have to allow these young men to be who they are in any given moment. And now there's always going to be a game plan within the game, and know that they follow that. But besides that, they thrive when they're being their best version of themselves, and you have to allow that with this group of young men. Thank you all. Appreciate it.
After having a day off, what was the focus of practice today before you guys depart out to Cleveland?
I think just refocusing, looking at what we did last game, good and bad, and just getting everybody's mind right.
How would you evaluate your performance from last game?
I think I played, decent. Obviously the scoring wasn't there, but we won by a lot, so I was really happy with that.
Does that bother you that the scoring's not there, or is that something that just doesn't matter to you?
I mean, we won. We tied the series up. That's all that matters.
Jay, I talked about that it feels like you guys have some momentum heading into the back half of the series. Do you believe in that idea of momentum in a series, or how much you have to kind of put these last 2 games behind you to get ready for game time?
I mean, yeah, I think we're coming off 2 wins, so obviously we feel good. But we do know we haven't won there the first 2 games, so we're gonna have to really come together as a group and do what we can to win the next one.
Home court has been a major factor in the series, but you guys still need to win in Cleveland in order to get to the next round. So how do you eliminate that psychology of the home crowd and kind of knock out that noise?
I think you just got to stick together as a group. You guys got to be on just hitting on all cylinders in terms of communication and being on the same page, and just go out there and have fun. I think first 2 games we were a lot of nerves and turned it over a lot and missed a lot of shots. So I think just go out there with a lot of confidence and have fun.
And how are those nerves going?
You got to repeat
How does
that.
Mo help with having fun?
Mo helps with having fun every day. He's the same, brings the same energy. You just know that he's going to always be on 100. So you know what you're going to get from him day in and day out.
When you know you have to take one of these 2 games on the road in Cleveland, does that give you a pressure, and do you like having a pressure like that?
I mean, it's the playoffs, so once you get into the back end of the series, these games are obviously a lot of pressure and a lot at stake. So I think we all just ready to embrace it and ready to get after it.
In those first 2 games, just how much did you enjoy playing in that road atmosphere? I mean, home's one thing, but on the road, embracing that chaos of being away.
It's fun, man. It's fun. I always loved playing on the road ever since I was in high school. I always loved road games. So being there, when it's just you and your guys against the rest of the arena and on the road, it's fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
Like you talked about the nerves that come with being in the playoffs. How do you balance the nerves, but also be present in these games?
Yeah, I think nerves just come and go every game. Obviously, you're going to be anxious, but I think just realizing that this is fun, that we get to do this, and this is the highest level of basketball that we're able to play. All year, you work to get here, so it's really nothing to be nervous about.
We've never experienced anything like having a crowd watch us do anything. When you're in the middle of a road game, do you hear? How conscious are you of a road crowd?
I usually just try and get lost in the game. I don't really engage with fans or crowd. I usually lost. I mean, I may hear something, but usually if I do, it just go right out the other ear. So.
When you look at the course of NBA history, it's rare that you have a player like yourself score 30 in one game, and then another player on the team score 30 in the next. Just what does that say about how special of a duo you and Franz are becoming?
I mean, that's what we do. That's why our teammates, look to us to lead the guys, because we're supposed to step up in the biggest games and the biggest moments. So, I don't think either one of us has, felt like it was an out-of-body experience or anything. I think that's just what we're here to do.
Paolo, how do you describe Wendell's box-out style, his rebounding? What makes him an effective rebounder and presence on the boards?
I think just his overall size and how well he is able to function and move at his size, playing center. You don't see many guys just with that size, height, and weight, and being able to be light on their feet at the same time. So, he's been huge for us. Obviously, getting back in the starting lineup, I think that'll also help us a lot in this next game on the road. Having him in that starting lineup, the first two, he wasn't. So I think that'll help us a lot. But his presence there is big.
I'm sure you expected to be in games like these in the playoffs, but this being the first time, you take a step back and just kind of marvel at the opportunity in front of you, or this experience that you're having.
Yeah, I did the first couple games. The first playoff win was cool and all that, but I think now everybody's just focused on winning this series.
As you look back at the 4 games played, what are some of the biggest lessons learned about what it takes to win a playoff game?
Yeah, you just gotta be locked in every possession. Every possession is really important. A 10-0 run can win a game or lose a game, so you just gotta be locked in and focused on every single possession.
Jalen's talked about the love that this group kind of shares with each other and how that's kind of the glue on you guys. How would you say that the bonds and the connection are really helping with you guys this run right now?
Yeah, it just really helps when you enjoy being around each other. Makes it easier to work together and hold each other accountable. So I just am really grateful to be on this team and have all these guys who are great humans as well.
Everybody good?
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you.